Hi, John Dwyer here, and thank you for coming to this webpage. Well, thank you for coming to what we call the Appraisals Magnet webpage. And you're here probably because you're a real estate agent and you would like to get a bucket load more appraisals. Now, my business is called the Institute of Wow, and as that name infers, it's all about wow factor marketing. And we think we've got for you, as an agent, the wow factor appraisals machine of all time. We know that at the end of the day, outside of referrals, the best chance of you getting listings is to get more appraisals. And the way that we looked at this was when an agent contacted me some time ago and asked, look, can you come up with an idea to get more appraisals? I said, okay, well, first of all, let me have some understanding of how many listings you generally would get from 10 appraisals. And he said, well, it just depends on what month of the year it is, but probably 2 or 3. Now, I know that you might get more than that, but he said 2 or 3. So I said, okay, so for every 10 appraisals, let's say you get 3 listings over the, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months thereafter. If 10 appraisals deliver 3 listings, why don't you just do more appraisals? And he said, well, it's because we've got to get the homeowner to say yes. I said, right, okay, leave that with me. So I came back to him and put the concept, which you can see on this page, to him, and it fired up like crazy. Basically, I said, well, if your listings are based on the number of appraisals that you get, and if you get 10 appraisals, you end up with 3 listings, why not just give out 1 million appraisals? It sort of just made sense to me. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, just, why don't we create a facsimile check, a lookalike check, and we put on that check, courtesy of RP Data or Price Finder, what the value of that home is. And we drop that in the letterbox. So it basically gives them the appraisal rather than asking them, would you like an appraisal? It just seemed to make sense to me. It's called push marketing instead of pull marketing, okay? Anyway, he did it, and the results were spectacular, absolutely spectacular. And so I thought, well, hang on, this is an idea for the whole industry. Why don't we make some money out of putting this together in a done-for-you format for every real estate agent? So that's what this is. We've called it the appraisals machine because that's what it is. It's effectively a machine. You actually join our monthly subscription, whereby you pay a very modest fee, and you can see what that is on this page, right? And we provide you with the checks, the lookalike checks, that you simply distribute. Now, obviously, if you go into Smith Street, the valuation for number 1 Smith Street is going to be different from number 2, from number 3, and so forth. Well, when I say different, it may or may not be, but the point is that the check is customised and personalised for number 1 Smith Street, number 2 Smith Street, number 3 Smith Street, and so forth. Gave me sort of a tongue twister there, didn't I, Smith Street? So anyway, my view is that you'd probably either distribute them yourselves if you want to get fit, or you get someone from Airtasker. Okay, so it may well be it's a great job for a pensioner from Airtasker to grab your facsimile checks and go out and deliver them. Now, on the back of the check, you will see that we explain to the homeowner that this is based on data that we get from one of the informational sources like RP Data or Price Finder. And if they'd like to have reaffirmation of that valuation, of that appraisal, then they might like to contact you to come in and give them a written appraisal. And here's the real clincher. If they do that, then you give them a free holiday, okay, or what we say 3 to 7 night holiday accommodation. Now, we happen to have a relationship with a travel company that gets access to unsold hotel rooms right throughout Australia and New Zealand and Bali and Fiji and America and Europe, all around the world. And we're able to provide those to you with this package, whereby you can use that as an incentive to convince the homeowner to get you in for a written appraisal. So can you imagine when they walk to the letterbox? Okay, they walk to the letterbox and they pull out this, what appears to be a check. Okay, now it's not a real check, you know that and I know that, and we make it very clear that it's not a real check. And they had no idea what they were sitting on, but when they look at the check, they go, wow, the valuation of my house, or the estimated valuation, is 1.2 million. They flip it over and it basically has a photo of you with all of your details, and it invites them to invite you to come and give them a written appraisal. And if they do that, then you will reward them with free hotel or resort accommodation, 3 to 7 nights, or anywhere in Australia. Well, not anywhere in Australia, but at various locations around Australia and globally. pretty sexy offer for that homeowner. They get a very nice surprise most of the time about the estimated value of their home, and then they think, hang on, if I get the real estate agent in to give me a written appraisal, I'm going to walk away with a holiday. So yeah, it's pretty attractive. You'll see all the details below. It's pretty straightforward. I wish I could make it sound that like it was really complex so we could charge more. But it's really straightforward. My view is that if your income is based on getting listings, and largely your listings, outside of referrals, largely your listings are dependent upon getting more appraisals, then just give everyone in your farm area an appraisal. It's simple as that. Just give lots and lots of appraisals, but give it in a theatrical way, as in a facsimile check, that's going to knock their socks off. You can just imagine when they go to the letterbox and they pull this out and it looks like a real check and it's got a number on there that they would have never dreamt that their home was worth. Now, postcode exclusivity and all that sort of stuff, have a look at that below, because that's a real bonus too. It means that if you grab hold of the subscription program with this, then yeah, you won't have any competition down the road doing the same thing. We realise that it just makes sense to give real estate agents exclusivity in terms of postcode, so that therefore, you know, the real estate agent down the road is not going to be doing the same thing. So we think that's pretty important and very, very valuable. We think it is a juggernaut. We think it's a game changer. You wouldn't expect us perhaps to, you know, think anything else because it's our product, but the way that, you know, our mind works, because we're a direct response marketing agency, is twofold. Number one, what's a theatrical way to get the consumer's attention? In this instance, your consumer is the homeowner. And how do we scale it? Is it something you can scale? And this ticks both of those boxes. You've got something that's going to absolutely get their attention when they go to letterbox. And in terms of scaling, then of course you can put this out over and over and over again. You've got a lot of homes in your farm area, so therefore I think this could keep you busy. And I think you'll be doing a hell of a lot more appraisals. If you would like to go further with this, then of course there's buttons all over this page here, and we look forward to helping you get involved in what we call the appraisals machine.